It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. And this week we have a very special guest, Muoi Lo, who is going to talk to us about mastering the business of acting, his new subscription service, his experiences throughout life and in this industry, and so much more. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that, let's jump right in. Hi, Chi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. And not only that, I was going through your background and your history, and your story is so inspiring. From starting off, being born in Vietnam to being brought over to the United States at 2 years old, and then coming into a refugee camp, and then becoming this well-known actor to becoming a manager. I mean, you've kind of been all over the board.
I know it's kind of, I don't know, it's sad is the right word, but in show business, I am, I guess. In acting business, I am. It's one area that I can say that I'm an expert in. Well, in other area, I can't drive. I'm a walking stereotype. I can't put a Zoom call together without an assistant. I hope I answered that question.
No. It's just sort of an observation at this point, but I do have a very important question for you to kind of kick us off. And that would be, how did you first know, I want to be an actor, and this is something that I'm so just dead set on becoming, on achieving my dreams?
My answer would probably not go with the answer that everybody's looking for. And the reason is that I just think that it's just part of my DNA. I fell in love with acting at 10. And I really know for sure at 13, and took it very seriously, and went to high school performing arts, Government School for the Arts, Dr. Gloria Student Theater in New York, 1 year in Temple University, got full scholarship to American Conservatory Theater, graduated on Saturday, came down here on Sunday. So it's just something that it's nothing about inspiring or somebody inspiring me or this and so on. It's just something that I knew that I want. And I don't know how to break that down, except that,
It was a part of you.
Yeah.
You felt it.
It's something I'm good at.
Right.
I mean, can I play tennis? No. Can I bowl well? No. I see people that can hit a bat. I'm saying I can't do that.
Right.
So this is just something it's the only thing I'm good at. And I spent so much years in it that I know everything about it in this area when it comes to the craft and the business side of it. So I even know enough to know what mistakes I made. And there's a lot of mistakes I made as an actor, but and now I can, I create this product called Mastering the Business of Acting. And you can get it at a website called masteringthebusinessofacting.com. So that it's 7 episodes over 12 hours of information, all about the business, nothing about the craft, about the business. And the reason I'm just saying about the business, because is that that's not what's teaching. No one's talking about it. No one's talking about it in school, or no one's talking about it in classes. And it's time that we have, because succeeding in acting business, 60% is about the business. 40% might be about the craft. A bad actor who knows about the business can succeed faster than a great actor who doesn't know about the business.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. I'm super excited about this business that you've started. And obviously, you've taken your 30 years in the business and you have this experience. So you're putting it into this new business. But why? What makes this sort of subscription service, and can we call them acting classes because it's teaching you about the business? So, in some degree, they're acting classes, right?
Yes, and more like a lecture. I wouldn't call myself a teacher because I think a teacher is somebody who is very skilled in nurturing and have the patience and all that.
Right.
I did this somewhat classes 3 times. I taught it 3 times, but mostly to my clients that from my management company. And then I just got tired of doing it, and so someone put it in my head 6 years ago, said, why don't you put it on tape? Then you don't have to talk about it again. And I thought it was a great idea. And then when I started the idea, then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I realized, oh, wow, I have a lot to say here. There's a lot to cover. And we cover a lot. I mean, if you, I'm going to use let me tell you, we cover over 50 crazy questions, tough questions that people want to know about the business in the 7 episodes. Personal finances, child actors, how to cry in queue, the value of a good coach, acting classes, resume, headshots, demo, marketing, how to get your union card, the ugly truth about agents and managers, self-tape, realities about casting and casting directors, pitching, verbal and written pitch, producer session, studios and network testing, commercial versus theatrical. And then the most important thing, relationships. So those are the kind of subject that we cover over the 12 and a half hours, about the business.
Which actually answers my next question, because I was going to ask you, what sets this apart from any other classes or lectures that people around the world who are interested in the entertainment industry, what would set your program apart from theirs? And you just explained it. Like you said, you're not just talking about the craft and the excitement of becoming an actor, but there are harsh realities that come with entering this business. And sometimes, young actors can be exploited. You have people who will reach out to them for the wrong reasons. I've seen it too. I mean, when I moved to Los Angeles, I was young. I was 20 years old, and I went to a competition called IMTA in New York. And as soon as I was brought over to Los Angeles, I ran into some very shady managers and publicists who were asking me to do these very strange things and go to these strange places. And it made me very uncomfortable. So I thought it was something that I would really enjoy and that I could be good at. And within 3 months, I dropped out of it because of how uncomfortable I was. But I didn't know any of this. You watch it on TV, you watch your favorite actors on film, and you just see the cotton candy version of it. Whereas there's a lot to dissect here.
Yeah, because I'm not talking about the craft.
Right.
I think the craft, that's what's wrong with the American education. Okay. The American education, I went to a school called ACT, which is used to be this 9 Ivy League school for actors, Yale, Juilliard, NYU, Temple University, ACT, Carnegie Mellon. And they are not talking about the business at all. They're teaching you about the craft. And my thing, I'm not talking about the craft a single time. I'm talking about the business side of it. So when I say 12 and a half hours about the business, it's about the business. Audition is not about craft. It's not even about the craft. People think, oh, audition about the craft. No, audition is about the business. More about the business than is about the crafting of it. So, and these schools, I've been bugging me for 20 years since I own this company for 20 years. We go to every year they would have a showcase, New York and Los Angeles, to showcase these actors, and the power to be will come and see it. And we all know it's half-assed. Some of it is half-assed and all that because it's not that great and all that. But there's a bigger problem with that, and here's the problem. Okay, Temple University, Yale, ACT, NYU. I just named the four of them already. They're obsolete in the sense is this. I'm not telling people they're going to lose a job or whatever, all that, but I'm telling them to change their program. You cannot start the actors in a master program. So that means when they graduate, they're 27, 29, 31. Your career is already over before it begins.
Right.
It should be an undergraduate program, you know? And if you're going to teach people the craft, you got to teach them their business. And why they're not teaching them their business? Because they can't. Because they're not in it. So they never made it. They're teachers who never made it, or who doesn't, I went to a school that's ACT and it's a conservatory theater, and there was a lot of great teachers because they're professional actors and all, they come and teach and all, but themselves doesn't understand the business because they barely in the business. They in the theater business, but not in the TV film business.
Right.
So there was very little talking about auditioning, very little about camera acting, about agent and manager, and this is what we're talking about. And this is what I want to change the thing. And what I'm saying to you about Yale, Juilliard, ACT, and NYU and Temple University, you don't have to fire anybody. No one have to lose a job. Just change your program from a master program into the undergraduate. And, so I think these schools, let's just say the truth about colleges. It's a corporation making money, and I'm not telling you that your whole thing had to be scrapped. I'm saying just change it. Instead of using the undergraduate promoting your graduate program, realizing that this is a young business. What a great age, because most people graduate from undergraduate are either 21, 22, right? That's the perfect age to come into this business, especially if you have the maturity and if you have your training down, and then now you understand more about the business, then you make less mistakes,
All right. No, I mean, it all makes sense, especially the way that you break it down. And I guess I never looked at it from that perspective. So this is sort of mind-blowing to me, actually, now thinking about it. And I wish that there would have been a program like this when I thought in my mind I wanted to go into the entertainment industry. So this is very inspiring to break it down. Moving forward, though, I want to know if you can think of it off the top of your head, what would you say one of the biggest challenges would have been for you as a young actor, as opposed to being a manager? They both have to have their different challenges, right? But what have you faced that you can kind of help someone else who wants to take this path, go down this avenue?
If you could find for me, the mistakes I made was I have a very successful acting career, and for some stupid reason, well, I know what the reason were, but it was, I wish someone would stop me. If I had a manager or somebody who was smart enough to stop me, there was no reason for me to direct a movie in my 20s when I can do it in my 40s.
Right.
I'm saying my career as an actor was rising and it's going in the right direction and I'm making a lot of money and then I just drop out 5 years just to make this movie, and drop out 5 years in an acting business is almost a death sentence, so that's the mistakes I made. But if you're to advise to the actors and all that, if you find a good manager, and managers are hard to find these days. And let's talk about the agent and manager business for a minute. It doesn't work. So when I say it doesn't work, I talk about it, and I it's kind of funny. It's in episode 4, and a lot of people realize, you look really angry when you talk about this. And I watched it, and I put it together. I realized, I do look like really angry. Is there a way we can change? It's not like we can change. It's real. It's who you what you are. So
you're
what
passionate.
Yeah, I am, because I'm gonna throw you some zinger. You're gonna blow your head off here. It's all in this mastering the business of acting. So I'm gonna have to repeat again. Masteringthebusinessofacting.com. So let's take the agency business for a minute, and we're talking about agent and manager for a minute, okay? Let's take tier 1, CAA, ICM, William Morris, Endeavor. Tier 2, Gersh, APA, Innovative, 3A's used to be Abrams, whatever. All right. So tier one, you cannot have 5,000 clients and you'll have 100 agents to be able to take care of 5,000 clients. You can't. Okay? You just can't. It's impossible. So 1/3 has been taken care of, the one that makes the money, and the other 2/3 are not. Same thing with the second tiers. You know, you cannot have 3,000 clients and have 22 agents to take care of all 3,000 clients and everybody can be taken care of. You can't. So what do? Here's one bad thing that they do to actors. They make fake auditions. Fake auditions. So, especially with self-tape these days, this past year, it's all self-tape. Self-tape's been around for 7 years now. But now, you know, they make these self-tapes. And so you get this audition and you get all excited. Oh my God, I got this great audition. The series regular, blah, 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 blah. You you hire a coach, you put 3 days on it, you put it together, you got someone to tape it for you, and you send it to your agent, and your agent say, okay, submit it, download it, and they're gonna watch it and all that. But what you didn't realize, you were never in play. If you look deeper, most of these agencies, they bought this program, and when they put in a breakdown, if you look at the breakdown, the age is missing, and the ethnicity is missing. So let's just say if you're white, and you're 40, and what they remove, you don't realize the role is black, and it was in his 30s. So you were never in play. But even let's just say it was the right age and right ethnicity and all that, but they still removed that.
Right.
But the casting didn't ask for you. Okay? They didn't ask for you. So what the agent does is they create these auditions just to keep you busy. Now, there's 10% advantage of doing that. You know, we actors are crazy. We are. And we do stupid things and so on. So to keep you busy will keep you out of trouble. You don't get a DUI. You don't go to so many parties. You don't, hang out with the wrong crowd. So that's a good thing. But
right.
Other than that, it's a really bad thing, because what if the right role is 3 days away, a week away, and you just use all your energy to put into this auditions? These are big roles, so you got to really put a lot of energy into it. And you spent, and a real good role came along, but you use all your energy on a fake one, and you don't know it's fake, so they don't let you tell you it's fake. So what happened? You're gonna, I got the other one, when the other one was not real. So that's the bad part about the ugly truth about the agency and the manager business. And here's the crazy thing about the managers. Most managers these days, there's more managers now than agents. A lot more, 3 times more, 4 times more, whatever. And who are they? Are they really managers? I call agents and managers a simple thing: mommy and daddies. The agents are the daddies, and the managers are the mommies. Now, you cannot be a daddy for 15 years and suddenly become a mommy. You just can't, because you're used to be a daddy.
I like this analogy.
Yeah, because so you listen to your client for 10 minutes and you're done, and you gotta go. That's your personality. You gotta go to the next thing, because you're gonna lose your job if you don't bring in some money, a quota. But a mommy have patience, nurturing. So they spend hours, 2 hours with you and so forth and all that. Help you out with going through some tough time, whatever and all that. So what happened? You got a bunch of agents who left the agency or who got fired, decide to create a manager business, but they bring the mentality and their skills as an agent to a manager business. So suddenly you don't really have a manager, you have another agent. So you have 2 agencies working for you instead of having a real manager. And you're paying out 20% or whatever for 2 people doing the same job.
Okay. Wow.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot to this.
Yes, it's it's a fascinating thing that is so many topics that I found at these schools, and these are, I mean, I went to top school here. You know, it starts 9 o'clock, and then you have 1 hour lunch, and you finish at 6 o'clock, and then you have rehearsal to 11 o'clock, and you start all over again Monday to Friday and all that. And yet they don't talk about the business, you know. And the reason it's not they don't want to, they just can't. You know, it's like death. Okay, let's use that example. We all know what death is. We read it, we see it on TV, we see it in a movie, and we heard a friend of ours, their parent died and all that, and we feel really bad. Or we have, you know, a distant cousin died, and so we understand, you know, we understand it. Do we? I don't think so. You don't know what death is until you really experience real death, like someone very close to you. Like my mom died 3 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. The 5 states of grief. How long is this grief going? When is it over? When do you accept it? Well, you know, all those nuances that people don't know about death until they experience it. It's the same analogy as about acting business. You cannot talk about acting business if you're never in it, or if you never succeed in it, or you're not in it right now. You can't.
Right.
You can just talk an idea, but an idea is not real.
Right. And you need the expertise behind it.
Yes. And that's what I used to analogy about death. You know, everybody know about death, but do we really know about death? No, not. So same thing with acting business. You don't really know about an acting business until you really know about the acting business.
Well, this makes me interested, of course, to find out more. And you even said that you cover this in over 12 hours with your subscription service. Now, for anyone who's watching and who would want to learn more about this, because this is obviously a territory that, like you said, most universities don't even tap into because they can't. How would they, first of all, how would they find you? How would they find your subscription service? And how much does it actually cost?
Great, good question. You can go to a website called masteringthebusinessofacting.com. And I didn't want to charge that much money. Okay. And I did not, because I think the kids are being screwed by the school and classes. You know, Los Angeles itself, variety of status, it's a $300 million exploitation for acting classes and coaches business in Los Angeles itself. So so I charge $199 for 7 episodes for 12 hours of information, and every year we would renew new information, 7 or 8 topic, 7 to 10 topic, and I would do maybe 2-3 hours Q&A, and we would tape it and all that, and then this is where you get updated every year and all that. So for another $100, like $299, you would get a lifetime, and that's it. You get it every year for free and all that and all that. So
acting classes 1 week is going to cost you more than that.
Yes, and $199 is basically half the cost of a photo shoot.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's why I did not want to charge more than that. I just want to have everybody have access to this, and they're valuable information. You know, people asking about how can I, what's the advantage? What's the changes? And I said, marketing. It's a big word and a very important word. And, but no one's talking about it.
Okay. All right. So after.
Well, let me add something else.
Yeah.
It covers 3 types of actors. The one who want to break into the business, the working actors, and the rising stars. So every episode, that's why I couldn't name, they said, why don't you give a name for each episode? I say, I can't, because each episode cover all 3 group of people. So I just have episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and all that. So it covered those 3. So that meaning basically, it's really in depth because it covered 3 different groups.
All right. Well, and that's important for anyone to know too. Even though if you are going to look into Muoi Lo's acting lecture, let's call it that. You said they're not called classes, lecture. You do have that intro video on the front, which I watched before we came onto this interview. I thought it was great. And it does a semi breakdown of what you're actually covering, but you just went so much more in depth with me on here, just breaking down what exactly you really do. And I appreciate that because I feel like I've learned a lot from here, especially a lot of analogies. With that though, I am curious moving forward, do you have any exciting projects coming up aside from, of course, your amazing subscription service? Do you have anything that you're looking forward to most in the future?
Yes.
Because I know your time is precious and I want to make sure that I'm not keeping you forever.
No. I have a TV show that I've been working for 4 years, which we about to I have to dive in the next 2 months. It's a seven season, 13 episode called Life in Threes, and it tells the story of an 85-year-old Chinese woman with early stage dementia who moves into a nursing home in Philadelphia in order to take care of one last piece of unfinished business before the disease gets the best of her. It's there that she befriends with a young Caucasian orderly and an African-American nurse. She helps them make sense of their lives as she recounts the stories of her life's journey that begins in China, moves into Vietnam, and ends in contemporary America. Logline, an epic story that spans 7 decades while 3 lives unravel in the present. It's inspired by a true story about my mother, and a lot of his characters in the real people. It's my passion project. It's probably I'm dying to jump back into it. I am committed 2 more months of publicity on mastering the business of acting, and then I have to dive into this project. Yeah, so that's my next passion project.
As soon as you were reading what it was about, I was immediately going back to a little bit about you that we discussed in the very beginning. Again, you moved here at 2 years old. You moved from Vietnam. Your parents are Chinese, right? So, and then you eventually moved to Pennsylvania, right? So as soon as you were covering, these different places in that timeline, I was like, wait a minute, I can see what we're touching on here. So that's amazing. And this obviously touches your heart, especially after you saying that, you lost your mom a few years back, and wow, this is exciting. Yeah. This is going to be good.
Yeah. And every season is going to cover a decade, from the 20s to the 30s to the 40s. I mean, just go on. And then it's also covered to the present time at the same time. So it's basically like Joy Luck Club meets Life in Threes. No, Joy Luck Club meets This Is Us. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Life in Threes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's what it is.
All right. So we have exciting stuff coming up, and we have an amazing subscription service that is affordable that everyone can start jumping into buying. It's available now, correct?
Yes, at masteringthebusinessofacting.com.
At masteringthebusinessofacting.com. And aside from your professional life, is there anything else that you would say moving forward? I always like to end off these interviews in a positive note, especially after coming out of an extremely depressing time, 2020 with the pandemic, and it was a really sad time for everybody. So I like to figure out and know what everyone is looking forward to, something that's positive for the future. For you, what would that be?
I'm so happy just to go back to the gym and get my body back in order. You know what I mean? It's just like
normal life.
Yes, and I think it's good. I think we learned a big lesson. I think we learned a lesson not to vote for the wrong people, and take our vote very seriously. And I think that the nice thing, someone just asked me, is the changes in Hollywood staying for good? And I say, yes, it is. It's not fake. It's more diverse. It will stay that way. And people just need to adjust to it and outsmart it. It's a business. Acting is a business and you've got to understand about the business side of it in order to survive this business. And if you don't want to understand it, then you're not going to survive it. Don't BS yourself thinking that being a great actor or you know the craft and that you're going to make it. No, you're far from it.
So don't come here with these big dreams thinking that you saw it all on TV and it was going to be easier said than done. I wish I could go back and tell my 20-year-old self that. However, I think exactly what you're saying is so true and so important for people to know. So with that, Muoi Lo, I appreciate your time and thank you so much for just discussing your business with us and everything you have going on. I know that your time is very precious, so I can't really express how much that means.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And I will also be posting for anyone who is watching this video, I will be posting a way for you guys to go check out the subscription service in the description of this video as well. So hopefully we can drive more traffic to you and get people out there really figuring out what acting is all about. That's the main incentive here, right?
Yes. I don't want my knowledge to die with me.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. All right,
Okay.
Chief. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Check us out every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for watching Up and Adam.